What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to be talking a little bit about my dirt car and what's been going on with all the updates and everything. Probably about 3 weeks ago, I took my car down to Houston to my buddy's house to put on jack stands so we could take all the old suspension parts off. And I ended up ordering everything I needed. Got front spindles, lower control arms, upper control arms, new coilovers, shocks, springs, coilover kits to put everything together. And the car came out great. Took about, I don't know, 3 or 4 days of them working on it. I was not able to work on it because I was actually at work in Lake Charles, and I lived 2.5 to 3 hours from their house, so I wasn't able to go over there every night and work on it. Thank God they were able to work on it, because we actually did go racing Saturday night, this past Saturday. But I did have some trouble on the feature, which I'm about to show y'all in a second. But let's see if we can get some good lighting and show you some of the updates that we did. So we got a little bit of stagger going on the car. We got two 15s up front, 215 in the rear, and then a 205 on the left rear. We also running 13x7s all the way around, and then on the right rear we have a bead lock wheel, which is a 13x8, just so whenever we're going around the turns and we got all that pressure on that right rear, it never pops. You definitely don't want that. You can see I got some wear, so I'm gonna have to grind it down this Saturday coming up at 105. We're gonna do some prepping to the tires whenever we do go to the track this weekend. We're actually gonna race Saturday and Sunday. So you can see we got all new upper control arms, lower control arms, spindles, brake calipers, new shocks, new springs, and then the coilover kits to where you can tighten everything down and adjust your heights. We got pinch clamps. Now, what's good about these is last time on the older suspension, all of this was jammed up. So whenever the spring would contract up and down during the race, I would almost hit this, so we didn't have really much movement and height to move around because it would manage to hit everything. So it was really crappy. Didn't really work. Everything was bound up. All of these didn't move. All of our pinch clamps we got, all of the old pinch clamps that we had were all bent and worn out. So everything is able to move around. You never want anything jammed up, because if everything is jammed up, your suspension's not free to move around. Same for the rear. We got new Heims. We still haven't got new bars yet for the Panhard bar, but we also got everything unjammed. All of this was completely stuck together. We had took it all apart, redid everything, and we're gonna actually in a couple weeks buy some new trailer arms and pinch clamps for that. We got new numbers coming in. They're actually in the garage right now. I'll open them up in a second. Taking all the orange off. Sadly, I have to keep the purple because I just don't want to take the whole car apart and get it repowder coated. It's not worth it. And we're running Wilwood brakes, which are a dime on stopping. We have the front right cut off, because whenever we set in the turn and you hold down the brake and tap the brake a little bit, it sets the car up to where you can drift around the turn. Oh, I'm making it easy for y'all to understand because everybody knows what drifting is. So whenever we're going in a turn, we tap the brake a little bit and then ease back into the gas, set that car right so we can get that slide around the corner and get off, turn the end of the corner, up the track, back to our next turn. But other than that, everything looks good. We're actually working on something right now, because during the feature of last week's race, we actually had a fault in the car, and my battery decided to fall out and come unwelted. So let me show you this real quick. It's in the back of my truck. This came out completely disintegrated on the corner here. Acid went everywhere. You can see how it's corroding the plastic already. But all of these welds that were previous in the car completely broke, and this thing went fucking flying. And then I have a little clip that I'll show you. on turn 1. I spun out and hit. I thought I hit something in the race, but I didn't. It actually, the battery came out and hit under the car and threw me in the air on the back, or threw the rear end up in the air, and then it turned me up around. And then I lost power. I didn't know what was going on. I just thought I hit something and pulled a wire. And then they came up to me, like, that's your battery, that's your battery. And I was like, holy crap, you gotta be kidding me right now. I was running so good, because we've never ran this good and fast in this car as last weekend. So, but look in the rear. Oh man, completely gone. Got a little debris on the bars and stuff, so we're gonna smooth all that down, get all new wire, because you can see all this is destroyed. It pulled this down, so we're gonna bend that back up, make sure this power switch works, get a new power wire running on the ends, because the end pieces, our connections are pretty bad, so we're gonna put some new connections on that. We got a whole new negative wire to run, and we're actually building a box right now, cutting it around. Got the new battery, a lithium ion battery. It's actually only 2 pounds compared to my other one, which was like 19. So we're actually trying to build a box right now and get that welded up and get the show on the road, because we have 2 races this weekend and we cannot miss this weekend. It's a big weekend. We're trying to get prepped to where we can go to Waco in a couple of months for Dwarf Nationals. Cannot wait for that. Since it's somewhat dark now, we're gonna plug this up so we can get some light in the trailer. Voila! Heck yeah, brother. Yee. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing started up real quick. Just to show you guys. Got this little backup battery rigged up. Let that fuel pump turn on. Press the start button. That right there is a 2004 Gixxer 1000. We got Toyota rear end with a drive shaft all the way through. These motors are side mounted on bikes, but we turn them. Then we have a drive shaft that's built to mount to the transmission of the engine, and voila, you got a dwarf car, boy. So we went ahead and cut everything out. We're gonna use angle iron to be the easiest. We're going to use this at the bottom so we can bolt 2 bolts on the bottom of this housing. Have 2 bolts coming up. We're going to have another piece thick of this angle iron to bolt down on the battery. Something simple. It doesn't need to be real fancy. It is a dirt car. I'm not too worried about it. As long as this battery stays in and is better mounted than the last one. But it's going to go in like so and sit flush right here, and it will miss the gas tank, miss everything. It'll all have a pretty good clearance. And yes, the battery is a lithium ion. That's why it's so tiny. You can see the box. This is actually a little too big because I didn't put it back to where it needs to be. This is all loose. It hasn't been welded yet. It'll all be welded tomorrow. But get that welded tomorrow, then get it in the car, take the car the next day and get somebody to weld it up to the car after I paint it and everything. And we're gonna look at my numbers real quick. This box came in today. I've been waiting. It's actually supposed to come in 3 days. I guess the shipping company messed up because it was a weekend and they didn't get it to me till Tuesday. So 5 days later on a 3-day pay and ship. So whatever. I guess I had the worst luck with shipping, honestly. Never get stuff when I'm supposed to. So I'm actually hoping that my battery that's supposed to come in on Thursday, that I just ordered today, is gonna be here on Thursday. Maybe it'll come in tomorrow, honestly, but we'll see. 2 boxes in one. I love it. snap. Oh, go.
Make go like, yeah, what you really want? Show you who's king in the land for the pawns. Let the phone ring, I've been making these songs. Gotta stay with the hype, nah, never gonna pause. See you down for the cause, better hop on quick. So one day, get the world on my dick. So much more, don't care, being rich when a real good.